Sup, guys? Ryu here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to Theory O, your Monday morning discussion video, because coffee time is at night. That's when I like to have my coffee. So, welcome back. I've been on vacation for about 4 freaking days, technically, because I wasn't working on any videos, and it felt great. I needed that. New York Comic Con was amazing. I have something special tomorrow. I'm going to finish up the video that will include a giveaway for you guys. It's just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Lanyards. I'm going to talk about it on Coffee Time too. Yu-Gi-Oh! Lanyards that they were giving out for free, but we wanted to get a few. We have only like 3 of them, but I wanted to give it to you guys, you know? So, if you want them, you just let us know on the video that I say, hey, let me know. So, there's been a couple things coming out of Comic-Con New York, and there's been a couple things that I've missed because of all the news videos from OCG. The OCG stuff, I'm probably going to leave till Friday, just so we're all caught up on everything there. But right now, because later I have something coming out for Spirals, is the Duelist Saga. Let's talk about it. It's March 31st, 2017, new cards from every Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, which is pretty interesting. I did not see it at the convention. I think they added it kind of like last minute because we were there on Thursday and we didn't see it. But, so what you're looking at is the Box Saga. It has a release date, which is nice. There's been a lot of release dates. We're going to be talking about those as well in upcoming weeks. And the packaging has Yugi, Stardust Dragon, and Cyber Dragon. So you're probably instantly thinking to yourself, hey, Cyber Dragon reprint. Yeah. Cyber Dragon support. No. Sorry. Pretty much what it is that cards that were in the anime that have yet to be released, we're probably going to see them here. There's also something else I want to talk about the back half of the video, which is tied to the Brethren and its impact that it's happening. I'm super excited about it, and we'll talk about that in a moment. However, I do want to mention, with this whole thing, Duelist Saga could possibly be the moment that they say, you know what, besides all the new stuff, this is a great opportunity to make those Raigekis, those MSTs, maybe them Twin Twisters again. Things that are commonly used, doesn't have to be some strike, but it could be some warning, into the set and make it one giant half reprint. You know, just 15 cards at a reprint. Everything else is brand new. We're going to put Stardust in there. We're going to put Cyber Dragon. We're going to put the classics. We're going to put regular Kaius, Karaz. I know a lot of you have said it's hard to get a Karaz reprint. A Karaz that's minty. Or how about a Kaiju Sea Turtle? That is one of the best cards to ever have come out, especially out of Arc V era. Or Utopia the Lightning. It's one of the best cards to come from the Zexal era. For example, you know, there's plenty of things. I don't really have anything I want from the anime to be released. I know there's a bunch of people who are like, hey, I want the stuff from GX that has not been released. The dinosaur support, whatever. For me, personally, I'm a pretty content guy when it comes to what we have. I just want to see more support for the level, you know, system of the game, where basically level 6 Horus, level this, level... But to me, that would just pretty much be the icing on the cake and nothing really else. I am super content on it. Considering that this, you know, is probably going to last a while, the 20 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! They're going to want to push it as much as they can, and I can't not blame them. It's the same thing that Pokemon's doing, but Pokemon, no offense, is doing a little bit of a better job. However, they're doing good. We talked about it on Friday. Don't need to go in more in depth about that. This is a great time, though, to include a lot of those cards and stop including those freaking guide cards in every single product. I think they got printed to the point that no one really wants them anymore, and this is more of a time to actually get stuff that people really do want. Stuff we have not received. And there's plenty of things that we have not received that would be cool to have, to say the least. Konami, please, you have been good on listening to some degree. Now's the time. You want to make solid sets. Don't oversaturate the market. We'll also talk about that today. So let's talk about Tides of the Brotherhood, because I want to jump subjects here. Because we don't know really anything about Duelist Saga outside that it's supposed to be all new cards, but on the product feature, which is on your screen, and they do mention on one of the little panel cards that all products, you know, images and whatnot, and details inside could change because they're still finalizing it. But pretty much that's what it's going to be. That could just be a mock-up right now, to be fair. Just so we're clear. Tides of the Brethren came out at a Legendary Dex 2. I don't really know if anyone was expecting it to do anything, but people are, tooling around with it and seeing what it can do, and speeding up a lot of decks. Magispectors being the biggest one. It finally gave them that kind of like steroid injection, that protein shake that they needed. Something, that wake-up call, just to get the deck going, because they really don't need to enter battle phase. They just need to turn one with it. Now, if they can't turn one with it, then it's kind of bad, because then they can't, you lose out on special summoning. So there's not too many decks that can really abuse Ties of the Brethren, but Magispectors is definitely one of those that you have to be very, very spot on, ready to deal with, because if they turn one, you're fucked. You're honestly going to have a hard time going up that hill unless you have that Twin Twister at the ready. However, there is Boojins who have not received their last card they need. Here's hoping to it for you guys. And when they do, Ties of the Brethren is super dumb in that deck, because Yamato gets speed boosted to a whole new level, to a point that was never intended for it, but it's great for it, because then the deck can actually thrive and just speeds it up so freaking much. I want to feature it on the channel, but I'm backlogged on a lot of things. I may not get to it this week. Just be patient. I'm going to get to everything. No worries. When I mention something, it will happen. It may take 2 to 3 weeks, but it will freaking happen nonetheless. The final topic for today, because I'm jumping on topics, trying to cover all my bases on everything I missed. It feels like forever that we've had talks like this. But I know it's only been like a few days. It's weird to me. So, in case you missed the video, I posted out a minute, 30-second video at Comic-Con New York. Basically, it was edited down from 3 minutes of footage. That was at the Konami booth. A lot of the Konami booth, we weren't kicked out, just so we're clear here. I just basically asked for permission. I said I'm going to be super quick, super respectable, because people are trying to get through and whatnot. It's just how I am. And they were cool with it. All the rumors about Konami not liking us, trust me, it's not a thing. As long as you're respectable about it, they're cool with you. Could just be the guys that, we were working with, they were fine with us. But to say the least, there were so many different products on that display case. Kudos to you, Konami, for having the spoilers out like that, everything. It was super cool. But I digress, because we're supposed to be focusing on saturation here. Some of the release dates, and again, they can change, but right now, as it's set, they're really freaking close into each other, where we're like a week apart. And I know what Konami's trying to do, what they're thinking here. Which is, hey, we want you to buy this if you're this kind of Yu-Gi-Oh player, we want you to buy that if you're that kind of Yu-Gi-Oh player. And as a company, and yes, the Yu-Gi-Oh Council technically is a company at this point, like it or not, I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like a sellout here, but you want to experiment, and that's what Konami's doing. It's not just pure saturation for saturation reasons. It is them trying to spread their wings to a whole new market, and they're just kind of still missing the point. I hate to say that. When I say that, it's nothing against Konami, it's nothing against their workers. The problem is, the difference in why Pokemon keeps thriving, it pulls in younger audience, older audience, new people constantly. Yu-Gi-Oh's always kind of just been its own thing. It's super hard to get into because it's a little bit overcomplicated. Okay, it's kind of overcomplicated with certain things, and it's just overwhelming to the average Joe. And that is a hard situation to break out of. And it is respectable of Konami to try new things, but I'm going to just be very polite in the way I say this. Releasing a product every single week is not the way to go. And again, there was that video that shows the release dates, and I do understand, and I do respect it, and I will mention it, that it is and can change at any given time depending on what Konami will do, because those dates are not 100% set in stone. However, they are like 75% set in stone, and usually are on track for that. We're not going to get a Gold Series this year next year for the most part, from what it looks like. I can't guarantee we won't get one, but I don't know. Maybe they want to try something different, but the Movie Pack Gold looks more like a special edition. And I think what they should have done is just called it the special edition. And the other thing is, too, I think what they're also considering is because the movie's coming out in 2017, we saw it on the Lanyard. We even have a release date for the movie, which is January 20th. They want as much Yu-Gi-Oh product out there because they want the second coming of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to explain that to you guys when I say that. So, Pokemon has Sun and Moon. It's pulling in all these new elements, just for those of you who don't play Pokemon. For the rest of you, understand this. They're pulling in new elements and doing way different things than they ever would. Yu-Gi-Oh's trying to do the same, not because they're just trying to copy what Pokemon does, but they're trying to thrive as a business. Whether or not you hate Konami as a business, they need to thrive for you to have Yu-Gi-Oh! So it works like this. Players have to understand Konami, and Konami has to understand players, and just everyone in between. Not everyone's going to agree with each other, or just completely understand each other, but as long as we can meet in the middle, it's a happy ending for everyone. We get an awesome game, we can make content on YouTube, we can even make careers from it, and Konami, at the same time, can run their business right up to the moon. Not to the ground, to the moon. But I've said it many of other times on many of other videos for my many of other channels, oversaturation of the same thing over and over again is never a good idea. Putting products so close together, even with a movie, is super duper risky, and I don't recommend it because it can be fatal. Now, obviously, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has 20 years behind it, so no, it won't kill it, but it will, however, drive sales to go just down a little bit. Not too much, but just down quite a bit. And that's a scary thing, because you also have to take in the economy, what people are willing to spend, demand, profit. It's all these different margins, and saturation is definitely one of them that Konami needs to look at. However, we still have, we only saw just a small part of those products being released so close together, because I commented on it in that video. I even brought it up. I don't think they're going to be, dim-witted to the point that they would do that. With all due respect, Konami, I don't think you guys would do that. I think you will learn from it. It's just a testing period, and we do need to be vocal in a proper way and not a arrogant, dickish way to them, so that way they get, they understand, they get that feedback they're looking for, and we get our point across. It's not that hard. Konami still has a ways to go, but they're doing a lot better, to say the least. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about all three of those topics, and I will see you later tonight for coffee time. Till then, peace.